I have just returned from work. I worked out and I ate a bunch of food. So please forgive me if I feel like I'm slipping into a food coma and it comes through in my audio today. Hi everyone, welcome on back to the channel. We have something new to talk about, and you guessed it if you've been around the channel for some time, because it's the most that we've been doing around here, which is talking about the new teasers for Guild Wars 2's 6th expansion. Today, I'm actually so excited to talk about this. I don't know how long I'm going to be talking about it in terms of its profession possibilities and so on and so forth, but the icon that we have is so cute. Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. I have a very soft spot for the cuter qualities of life and the softness and the gentleness of life. And when I saw this icon, which appears to be some type of rabbit or fox, possibly some type of spirit of that nature, I just about melted. This art is so adorable. It's so well done. There's dimension behind the ears, and we'll get into it a little bit. But first and foremost, I was just surprised to see this, as it is so animalistic. It is actually just like an icon of an animal, be it a physical animal or the spirit of an animal, and a rabbit or a fox. It's not as like dominant as maybe like a tiger or a bear. It's more soft, agile, and nimble. I think it'll be cool. But let's talk about what profession this might be attributed to. At first, I looked at the ears. I'm not sure why, but I looked at the ears and my mind went to fire for some reason. I was like, oh, are these like peaks of flames? And even on the face a little bit as it's moving upwards, the face almost looks like flames as well, which then led me to think about a mage class, a scholar class, and the necromancer and the mesmer I personally feel have already been answered for. They have their icons already, I feel like. And so for this, it would just leave Elementalist. Elementalist was the first profession that popped into my mind. So let's talk about that a little bit. I know with Ellie's, their profession mechanic does revolve around the 4 attunements. And most of the time, with their elite specializations, they haven't given them any new attunements, or I would say drastically changed the way the attunements work. I'm not certain that they're going to really do a sweeping, drastic change, but they might incorporate something like perhaps summons if this happens to be representative of an elementalist. Maybe elementalists are summoning companions and going that route. I'm not sure if that would really step on the toes of something like the Catalyst with its Jade Sphere. Granted, those are not as animated, nor are as dynamic. They are just wells that you place down. So Elementalist is in need of a refresh of its profession mechanic for an elite specialization patch. But those were my initial thoughts for Elementalist. I'm like, are we doing summons? Is this a spirit of some sort? Will the elements and attunements themselves be called something different? There are a couple paths that they could go down, but once the initial shock of maybe like, oh, are these flames of some kind, Elementalist? Once that subsided, I took a second approach and I was like, oh, this might be Ranger, just because Ranger has everything to do with animals and pets. So much of nature is incorporated into the Ranger profession. And with a spec like this, maybe it is indicative of some type of beast mastery, or you're communing and summoning other types of pets that we might not have direct access to via the pet system. I think that'd be really cool for a ranger. I would love to play a beast master ranger where you're controlling multiple creatures and having to manage their abilities and how well they all blend together. So that was where my second option went. Rangers in general are always fun, and their elite specializations have played a lot around the pets. So I'm not so sure if Ranger mains would like to see something more different than that, but maybe they're okay with the idea of like a beast mastery, zookeeper type of elite specialization. As the soul beast, you work merging with your pet, and then the Untamed, you are swapping the buff of being untamed and unleashed between you and your pet. So there's a lot of emphasis around the pet. It is their profession mechanic, so it makes sense, but I wonder what else they can do with that specific class mechanic and how far they can push it until they go back to something like a Celestial Avatar mode where they give them an F5. I think Rangers could be, you know, due for another type of transformation type mechanic. And maybe this is going to be a little bit more magical as well for the Ranger. Oftentimes they're quite physical, but Druid went that magic route. Maybe they're going to try that again with something a little bit different. Rather than being a pure healer, maybe you go the magic route and you're more damage oriented. We will have to see. But this icon is so cute. It's got me feeling really, really nice. I don't know, I'm just quite fascinated by this. In my heart, I'm more so leaning towards Ranger, but this could also maybe be Elementalist if they're going to do something completely out of left field for that profession. Comment down below what you have to think and have to say about this icon in particular. For Elementalist mains, I'd love to hear what you would suggest for a profession mechanic change. And if you're a Ranger main, I would love to hear your thoughts surrounding the profession mechanics for your class. Thank you all. Follow me over on Twitch. I stream Fridays and the weekends. And also, you can subscribe or purchase Guild Wars 2 if you'd like to. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone. Mwah.